Yep.
I remembered.
Good job.
Jennifer. All right. What's up, Puzzle Nation? I'm Eddie. This is Nicole. You're watching another episode of the Puzzle Podcast right here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We're so thankful to be among you all tonight. We've got a jam-packed show for you as always. Tonight, I don't know why the camera's turned that way. I'm going to go bother it in a minute. But tonight we're going to be talking about a school that decided it's going to not hire or allow teachers who have been vaccinated to work at the school. We're also going to be talking about a lady who was who had a 20-year embezzlement felony charge on her record for 20 years for not turning in a videotape. And then we're going to be talking. I had it and I lost it, just like that. Thank you. Coinbase and Baecamp are both facing backlash after mandating that you can't talk about politics at all on their jobs. And so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. We hope that you guys are having a good time with us. We are presented by Quality Content. We're also sponsored by the Wonder Puzzle Company, 4 Point Puzzles, Puzzledly, and the Very Good Puzzle Company. So,
see it over there?
See what? Well, yeah, sure. Yay. All right. So we're going to get into our first story tonight. Miami private school won't employ teachers who get the COVID-19 vaccine. A Miami private school said it won't employ anyone who has received the COVID-19 vaccine, citing concerns that the injection might not be safe. Centner Academy outlined its controversial policy in a letter to parents, encouraging faculty and staff to hold off on being vaccinated until there is further research available. Those who do wish to be vaccinated are asked to wait until the end of the school year. Quote, "This is not an easy decision to make," the letter said. "It was a consensus from our advisors that until this topic is investigated more thoroughly, it is in the best interest of the children to protect them from the unknown implications of being in close proximity for the entire day with a teacher who has very recently taken the COVID-19 injection."
That makes no sense.
Oh, no, it gets worse. The school said it won't employ anyone who has been vaccinated until further information is known. "We are not 100% sure the COVID-19 injections are safe, and there are too many unknown variables for us to feel comfortable at this current time," the school wrote. "Until more is known, we must err on the side of caution when it comes to the welfare of our students and school team." The CDC did not respond to a request for comment, but has said that the injections are safe and effective. Long-term side effects from the shots are extremely unlikely. Millions of people in the United States have received COVID-19 vaccines, and these vaccines will undergo the most intensive safety monitoring in U.S. history. This monitoring includes using both established and new safety monitoring systems to make sure that the vaccines are safe. One Centner Academy parent told NBC Miami that if she could pull her child out of the school now, she would. However, she said she has already forked over the $30,000 for tuition. Quote, "The whole year has been unbelievably stressful for all of us to know what to do, and I don't know if there's going to be teachers there," said the mother, who did not want to be identified because she signed a document that prevents parents from criticizing the school. Okay, "They are very pro my body, my choice, and yet it's the complete opposite of that is what she's actually telling these teachers. It's your body, but it's her choice." Lena Centner, co-founder and CEO of Centner Academy, said in a statement that the school's response to the vaccine was made, quote, "out of an abundance of caution and with, quote, thoughtful decision-making." She says that, quote, "Tens of thousands of women all over the world have reported reproductive issues from being in close proximity with someone who has been vaccinated, a claim that top medical experts have debunked. Quote, "We know not everyone agrees on this topic, but this is our philosophy at Centner Academy, one in which many of our teachers and parents share." You got it.
I'm done. For some reason, I didn't get this far.
So So this is your first time hearing all this? Yes. Okay.
For some reason, I feel
reaction.
like it
Hey,
stopped
Monica, how you doing?
a little bit further up. Wait a minute.
Go ahead. What you
Is
got?
there some type of chemical in the air that stops you from getting pregnant or something? What the heck? Did she really just say
Tens of
that
thousands of women all over the world have reported reproductive issues from being in close proximity with someone.
First, I was about to try to give the school some type
of
whatever.
No.
I was about to try to be like, well, you know what?
Both sides, blah, blah, blah.
I can't do that right now because that's some bullshit. I said spit. I did not curse.
No, she said what she wanted to say in her mind, though.
That don't make no sense. First of all, what got me was in the beginning where they said that they don't know. Sorry, wait a minute.
Take time, man. Take
where
time.
They said that they don't know if it's safe because there are too many unknown variables. I want to know what the variables are that they're talking about, first of all. And I want to know how, okay, we already know it's unsafe not to have it. So how you going to think that it's going to be better just not to get it, but then allow the teacher, wait a minute. How is a shot going to affect another child around you?
Come through.
I'm
glad you got, I'm glad you made the joke.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
come on.
You say that, you don't know how this vaccine is going to affect the children around them.
Yeah.
How, what?
Yeah. And there, go ahead.
So does the flu shot the same way where it like jumps off of you and then gets on a child or something? And the child takes it home, and because the mama's around, she can't get pregnant? I'm confused right now. I'd really like to know. Like, please tell me. You know what's going to happen? In 15, 20 years, they're going to come up with a commercial. If you've had the vaccine and you can't get pregnant.
Call the law offices. Call JG Whitworth.
Cash now.
You might be entitled to compensation.
If you've been around anybody who has been vaccinated, you may be entitled to this. What the heck? If you have been unable to conceive
after receiving the COVID-19 vaccine.
That makes no sense. No sense.
Okay. All right. So
okay, I'm done. I'm finished.
Okay, so
I'm through.
Here's where I struggle. It's like, okay, I understand. I understand that there are. So okay,
get it out, boo.
Okay.
It's hard. I know.
Right. So once again, we're in this place where you want people to allow you the space to feel how you want to feel, while simultaneously punishing people for not thinking like you. So you run a school, and based on your personal belief in what COVID-19 has been, mind you, this is in Florida, no less. So let's put that out there. Okay. Right. But because you don't believe that the COVID-19, that coronavirus is that bad, one, or two, that the COVID vaccines are of the devil, or, are doing more harm than good, based on whatever news stations or whatever, websites or social media platforms you frequent, the circles you hang around, you're now going to take your opinion on this thing and force it upon everybody who's under your employment. That is unfair. That should be illegal. And they should fight that tooth and nail. Every parent that wants their child to be safe should fight that. to either get their child pulled and get their money back, or to fight the school to allow the teachers to be able to go and get vaccinated. Because here's the thing, whether you want to believe it or not, it exists. Whether you want to believe it or not, it is out there. Whether you want to believe it or not, it has affected millions of people, and hundreds of thousands of people have died from this thing. And so you can be, oh, I don't believe in it, and because I don't think that it's safe, because I've heard of some reports from some weird website that I frequent all the time that people's reproductive rights were affected by people they came in close proximity of having the vaccine. Not somebody that took the vaccine. They got close to somebody who took the vaccine. Not they took the vaccine and had some reproductive problems after the fact. That I could understand, I could get with, because then I'd be like, okay, I need to see some research. But you said the person who was affected when they got close to somebody who got vaccinated. That to me is a bunch of BS. And they've already disproved it 6 ways to Sunday if you would go and read the right folk and talk to the right people who actually know what they're talking about. And so for me, it's like, I just can't understand why we're still here in this place where people feel like, you have to do what I'm telling you to do. Like I said, you believe what you want to believe. Got plenty of friends, plenty of coworkers who believe that this thing's a hoax. They never wore a mask to save their life. Fortunately, they never got sick. Thank God they never got sick. They may have been asymptomatic, but it doesn't even matter. But, they didn't get sick. And so they feel like they're Superman, they're invincible, whatever. But don't allow your belief system then be infringe on the rights of other people. The right to be able to work. The right to be able to come to work, for crying out loud. You're saying if you're vaccinated, you're not allowed to come back to work. That's not right. That's not fair. That doesn't sound legal to me. And like I said, and we're seeing it happen across the board in national and state governments where, you have governors who are allowing things to be opened up because they believe, not because it's been proven, but they believe that it ain't that big of a deal. And because it's their belief, they're going to open it up. It's not about what the science says. It's not about what the numbers say. It's not about what the hospitals say. It's not about what their own health officials are saying. It's just, I don't believe in it, and I'm safe, and I'm good because I got medical doctors and I got, medical attention at the highest level, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm not worried about getting vaccinated, but the other folk, they don't need to be open it all up. So again, this just reads to me, thank you so much for allowing your opinions to infringe upon the rights of those whose opinions are different from you. Girl. And so, like I said, it's sad. It's a private school. Ain't nothing they can really do. I mean, you didn't pay $30,000 a year, man. You ain't going to get my money. Man. But time for that. If you got any questions or comments, fill in that comment box below. We'll try to get to them as best we can. Again, you're watching the Puzzle Podcast with Eddie and Nicole right here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram, presented by Quality Content. Let's go here next. This story came out of CNN on the 2nd of May. Why banning political discussions at work is flawed. You want to read it?
Sure. Late last month, Baecamp, a project management software company, banned societal and political discussion. It just did a little, what it was, at work. Given the company's relatively small size, the decision might have gone by with little notice. But its founders have made a name for themselves over the years as progressive thought leaders. In a sweeping blog post, CEO Jason Fried.
Let's go with
Fried.
Yes.
Also laid out a slew of other policy changes, including the elimination of paternalistic benefits, such as fitness and continuing education allowances. Dang. And the dismantling of newly established diversity, equity, and inclusion council. I didn't read this one. I read a different one. Because my phone. Sorry. It swiftly caught backlash by Friday afternoon. Roughly 20 of Baecamp's fewer than 60 employees posted on Twitter that they were leaving the company, with some explicitly citing the new policies as the reason. The company is offering severance packages for employees who opt to leave given the new direction. Baecamp, which has operated as a remote working company since long before the pandemic, isn't the first to issue a policy against political speech at work in recent months. Last fall, cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase made waves when its CEO outlined the company's focus, spelling out that there was no place for engaging in broader societal issues or political causes outside its core mission of expanding the use of cryptocurrency. The decision was criticized, but also lauded by other notable figures such as Paul Graham, the venture capitalist, the co-founder of Elite Silicon Valley. In response to Baecamp taking a similar path, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong tweeted, "It takes courage in these times." This is what I read. "It takes courage in these times in asking who will be next." No, it's not what I read. I read something different. But diversity and inclusion experts say the move isn't courageous. Instead, it seems motivated by fear of change, as the world has fundamentally shifted in the past years in response to the pandemic and a broader reckoning around racial and social justice in the United States. You want to go? I want to find what I read.
You want to find what you read?
Yeah, I want to find this little blurb that I found that I thought that was it, but it's not.
So, I guess while she's looking for that, I'm going to just start off by saying that, I think that it's terrible that we... Did you find it?
Yes, I did.
Read it.
So today's social and political waters are especially choppy. Sensitivities are at 11, and every discussion remotely related to politics, advocacy, or society at large quickly spins away from pleasant, wrote Freed. You shouldn't have to wonder if staying out of it means you're complicit or wading into it means you're a target. These are difficult enough waters to navigate in life, but significantly more so at work. It's become too much. It's a major distraction. It saps our energy and redirects our dialogue toward dark places.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah, that was my little blurb that I found that I wanted to talk about.
Okay. Well, you want to go first?
So I guess, I don't know. That's kind of a not a touchy subject, but a hard subject to say whether it's right to talk about it at work or whether it's wrong to talk about it at work. Because I feel like you could talk about whatever you want to, but I feel like some people take it to the extreme, and that's where it becomes the problem. Mm-hmm. When you have these text chains or these little cliques that are talking about certain things, and because people are so different and have different opinions about things, it can be taken in the wrong way. I feel like we don't need to stop talking. I feel like you said this, but this is what I'm thinking. I feel like we don't need to stop talking about it, but we need to learn how to talk about it in order to be respectful to those around us. It's not what you say, but it's how you say it. You could be thinking, you could be thinking somebody, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but somebody's dumb for thinking what they're thinking. But it's not that they're dumb, because they could be thinking the same thing about you.
Right.
People who don't believe in the vaccine are thinking that the people who do believe in it are just crazy. And those who do believe in it think that the ones that don't believe in it are crazy as well.
Exactly.
It's not what you say, but it's how you say it. It's okay to believe in what you believe. But just like with the last story, like don't force your beliefs on others, because everybody's different. Everybody has a different opinion. No one is the same. So I do believe that if it's going to be something that's talked about, then, and see, I feel like it shouldn't be some type of training on how to talk to somebody. We're adults. Like, Have you not learned? Like,
nope.
Like,
nope.
Watch your mouth, man.
Nope. They ain't learned that.
Like, I don't know. That's kind of hard for me. I can't. I mean, it's their company. They can do what they want to, and I mean, I get their reason behind it. But my thing is, just like kids, they're not going to stop. They're just going to sneak, you know? And so when you're sneaky, then you start thinking about, ooh, what are they thinking? You start thinking, you know, the wrong thing or whatever. And so then that starts to be an issue. So, I mean, for adults or just kids who just grew up, it makes no sense. I know it makes no sense. Kids who grew up into a big kid.
Yeah. So you took the words right out of my mouth. So it's like I'm gonna piggyback off of you, but I'm still gonna say what I want to say. We live in this world where everything has to be my way or the highway. And because everyone it has grown super sensitive toward everything. I'm not just talking about one thing. I'm talking about everything. You can't be on, you can't argue one side without a person thinking that you're one-sided. I was listening to Brother from Another, a podcast that I listen to every day. And they were saying that because one of the hosts made a statement siding with one side of the argument, that made him that type of person for every argument based on that situation. He's like, no, in this situation, this is the side that makes the most sense to me. But it doesn't mean that I'm on that side every time. I look at situation on case by case. And so I feel like we are in a place now where we can't have meaningful conversations with each other without people, you know, automatically assuming that we're just this one person. No, listen, we are multifaceted. We have differences in all sorts of opinions, ideas, concepts, heck, movies, music. Like, just because I'm black doesn't mean I don't like, quote, white music, or just because I'm black doesn't mean that I like black movies. I think there's some black movies that are terrible. I think there's some, you know, black artists that are terrible. You know, it doesn't mean, just because I'm black doesn't mean I have to listen to, you know, the box that, you know, people want to throw black folk in. In that same way, my thought processes are not like everybody else's. You got to talk to me to figure out what I'm thinking. But that's the problem. We don't talk anymore. We don't have conversations anymore. And so when it comes to having these hard conversations about things that matter, I think that's the part that bothers me. It's not so much that they're having conversations about anything. It's that they're having conversations about things that matter. And people don't know how to talk to each other anymore. And so when you start talking about things that matter and people don't know how to talk, it then creates all this chaos that people are not ready to address. And so the bosses, rather than wanting to, you know, allow people to have that freedom of expression and freedom of creativity in their minds, to be able to think outside the box and think on critical issues and maybe even advocate for those issues, they just want to stop it all. To stop it all for the sake of continuing to make their money. And again, just like you said, you run your business how you want to run your business. You do what you do, but you got to realize you are not going to be able to silence everybody. You're not going to be able to get everybody to shut up. You're not going to be able to bring people into your offices and they're going to be mindless drones that just sit at their tables and do their work and they never do anything else. You're not going to be able to create that type of environment. So rather than trying to create that environment, you need to allow people the spaces to be able to have conversations with one another. Sometimes that means people are going to argue with each other. Ain't nothing you can do about that. I mean, people argue about who's the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan or Magic Johnson. They get to a whole argument about that. You know, who's the greatest greatest superhero in DC, Superman or Batman? Who's the greatest Marvel hero? You know, is it Iron Man or is it Captain America? Is it exactly? And you can have a whole argument and people get into fights over stupid stuff like that. And so if they're going to get into fights over that, you best believe they're going to get in a fight about Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, Republican, Democrat, blah, blah, blah. You cannot stop people from having conversations. It's the fact that you stop people from having conversations that is making it more difficult for people to have conversations. Like, it's counterproductive to me. Because again, what you're doing is saying you're not grown up enough to be able to figure out how to talk to somebody. So I'm going to stop you from talking altogether. Just come to work and do your job. So now I don't even have the opportunity to be able to grow as a person, to learn from, having those hard conversations with people and learning how to be able to hold my own while simultaneously learning to seek to understand, not just defend turf. We got to learn that in the throes of real conversations, in real interaction with people. Trying to learn this stuff on Facebook and Instagram ain't gonna work, because people hide behind the shadows of, I ain't really there, so it ain't like he gonna be able to do anything to me. So I can say whatever I want to say. People don't learn anything that way. But when you're in someone's face, or when you're, talking one-on-one with someone, and you actually gotta, make your point, but be mindful of the person that you're talking to and what you're saying to them and how they may feel and how they may respond, that matters. And we're limiting our ability to grow as people the more we allow these spaces that we interact with people in to just be places where we do our job and go home. It's actually being more counterproductive, because yes, we may be making a lot of money, but we're not growing as individuals. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we may be making the company a whole lot of money, but at the same time, what is it doing to my soul? What is it doing to my heart space? What is it doing to me as a person when I can't engage another person, even a person who may agree with me? I can't engage that person because you're now limiting our ability to be able to engage one another outside of how much money you make today. How many products did you sell today? Oh, okay, cool. All right, well, I guess I'll see you later then. I'm going to go back to my cubicle that sits right next to you and not say anything about what type of music you like, or what type of, what's if the issues that's going on yesterday, how you feeling about that?
I think people are just scared of, the backlash. And I think that maybe it's the fact that supervisors, because they have so much that they have to do in the first place, and trying to put out fires or babysit grown folk because grown folk want to engage in conversations that they then feel like they get their feelings hurt and then want to run to the boss. So that's true. That's true. But then I say, as a counter to that, not trying to be argumentative, but my counter to that is, to the supervisor, what are you going to do to make that a teaching tool? Because it's easy to say don't talk, but it's a whole other thing to say, okay, let's go pull Buddy into the room and let's let y'all have a conversation, because clearly and that's my point.
Yeah.
When do they have time to try to end a petty squabble that you as grown folks, if you in that work, how would you solve it?
I mean, I make the time, I guess, because for me, I'm of the mindset of both of y'all are on my team. Both of y'all are on my squad. So that means in order for this squad to work, we gotta make it work. So I want to at least give you a chance. I'm sorry, man, I had something in my mouth. So if you're gonna make it work, so if this is gonna work, y'all need to work. If you're not gonna be able to work, then
what you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Boss, what you gonna do?
No.
Now you need to get your work done.
Get your work done. Or don't talk.
I guess that's where it comes from.
No. And so yes, and so that's when I bring them in. Y'all hash this out now. Figure this out now.
And then they're gonna be like, nope, because y'all trying to figure this mess out on my time. Y'all getting paid to what? Figure out your problem?
No, listen, I'm of the mindset that if you're on my squad, I want the best team. And so that means y'all got to figure it out. And y'all me give y'all the space to figure it out this one time. If y'all can't figure this out, y'all need to leave each other alone. Don't speak to each other. Don't talk to each other. None of that kind of stuff. Because you ain't gonna be doing this on our time. This the one chance you get. I'm that guy. So I'm gonna give you that one shot to make this work. And if you coming in here with that mess again, then you gonna be looking either for another job or another supervisor.
That's why I don't want to be a boss.
I mean, like I said, different stuff for different folk, man. I'm just
because I feel like my job is already hard enough. But see, and that I guess it's the profession too. It's already, hard enough trying to deal with kids. And then so I don't want to be trying to, then deal with you and an issue you have with another person when I got Betty Sue over here wanting to fight Billy Joe. You know what I'm saying? The kid.
Let him fight.
Want to fight another kid. Okay. Co-workers then. Go hash it out.
Let him fight.
Go ahead then.
I'm playing.
How about the co-workers? Go hash it out while I
I'm playing, Mom. I'm playing. I was just playing. Miss I was just playing Miss Williams. I'm sorry. But no, let him fight.
Go hash it out, co-workers.
Let him fight.
Go hash it out.
Listen, at the end of the day,
and I'll write you up afterwards.
Exactly. Like if you want this job, y'all either squash it or look for another place to work. But at least hallelujah. But at least give them a chance. That's how I feel. Because again, at the end of the day, you're not gonna stop people from talking. That's the thing. You're not gonna stop people from talking. And whether they are
whether you messing with my money.
I mean, okay. Well, good luck with that. Because I promise you, like you said, they're gonna sneak. They're gonna sneak once, and at some point or another, somebody gonna hear something they don't like, and they gonna get upset, and it's gonna turn this big old thing, and then everybody gonna have to be fired because everybody talking about it.
And see, people, if I'm telling you, you want to get somebody to stop acting like a fool, mess with their money. I'm gonna write you up. If I keep having to write you up, you gonna get suspended without pay. What you gonna do?
Right. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Give them the chance.
Get it together.
Give them the chance. And then if they mess that chance up, that's on them. But give them a shot. Because again, you're not gonna stop it. It's like I told my coworkers at my job one day when we were having this training. They were like, "Just don't talk, just don't talk." They said 5 times over 5 different subjects, "Just don't talk." I told them one thing you're not gonna do is stop me from talking. Okay, you're not
because that's you. That's
no. Listen.
And
I expanded it to everybody because all of us talk. Even the people who were saying not to talk are the very ones in the next hour we're talking about stuff that they said not to talk about in the meeting. So it's like I told them rather than just telling us not to talk, we need to learn how to talk respectfully.
You be the one giggling in the back.
No. I'm that guy.
Yeah, I know.
Who's gonna say what? Listen, I live. You know this. I've lived most of my life trying to sugar around and talk around stuff and not talk directly about stuff. It's taken me a while to get to a point where I can say how I feel and be okay with that and not feel like the world coming to an end because I made somebody feel bad off of what I said. Like it's taking me a while to get here, and I'm glad that I'm here. Case in point, I told them, listen, you're not going to stop me from talking. It's just not. If something's happening out there and I need to talk to somebody about it, I'm going to find somebody to talk about it with. And so, again, what this means is we need to learn how to just talk to each other in a respectful way so that, we can leave out of a conversation saying, I said what I wanted to say. I said it as best as I could. And if they couldn't, that was on them. But I did my part. I said what needed to be said. Because if you hold it in and let that stuff bubble over time, things gonna blow up worse. That's something that happened.
Not that you have to hold it in. I mean, why you can't talk about it after work?
I'm not saying they can't. I'm not saying they can't.
It's like they're saying that they can't hold it in any longer. But while we're at work, I have to talk about this.
Well, again, maybe you might be right, but at the same time, in that moment where I can't believe this happened, oh my God, I need to you gonna talk about it. You just gonna talk. It is extremely difficult in situations where you just need to talk to somebody and that person happens to be the person who's in the cubicle next to you. You'll never see each other any other time. Hey, I need to talk. So again, all I'm saying is about when it comes to things that are happening in the world, things that are out there that are meaningful, that matter. There are ways to go about having those conversations with one another where it doesn't have to turn into chaos. And maybe we need to learn how to have those conversations with each other. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to the world has to come to an end and we no longer can talk anymore. I feel like that's not the answer. Now, maybe, teaching people how to talk isn't the answer either, but there is something better than just don't talk, because you're not going to stop people from talking. That's why 60 of them left Baecamp, because they're like, no, you can't stop me from having conversations about things that matter to me. You're just not. Now, and again, it's not even to have these conversations with my adversaries. I'm talking about having conversations with my friends, the people that I care about, the people who I talk about this stuff with all the time. Now, if you over here eavesdropping.
That's why you call each other after work.
Sure, but now you come eavesdropping in our conversation. That's on you.
How I'm eavesdropping if I'm at work doing my work and I got.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not in terms of that. If you're talking about a cubicle to cubicle, okay, sure. But again, all I'm saying is, if I'm not talking to you, there's no need for you to come into the conversation to begin with, no matter how you may think or feel, if I'm not talking to you. But if I'm talking to you, then sure, you have the right to, say what you want to say, feel how you want to feel. And at the end of the day, you're not going to stop it. That's all I'm saying. You're not going to stop it. No matter how hard you implement stuff and do stuff, you're not going to stop it. People are going to find a way to have a conversation about the things they want to talk about. So I just think they need to come up with a different way to do it. Got any questions or comments? Fill out the comment box below. We'll try to get to them as best we can. You're watching the Puzzle Podcast with Eddie and Nicole here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, presented by Quality Content, the maker of this puzzle right here. We are also sponsored by the Walnut Puzzle Company, 4 Point Puzzles, Puzzletly, and the Very Good Puzzle Company. Our next story is coming off the Washington Post. It was posted on April 26th. The headline reads, "She never returned a VHS copy of Sabrina the Teenage Witch." DA's office said 20 years later, she faced a felony. For years, Karen McBride never understood why she was spontaneously fired from jobs or why she had trouble landing a new one. When she tried to change her last name on Texas driver's license earlier this month, she finally found out why. When they ran my criminal background check, all they're seeing is those two words, felony embezzlement. McBride, 52, told KOKH, which first reported her story. Her crime? Not returning a VHS copy of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the 96 sitcom starring Melissa Joan Hart, after renting it from a Norman, Oklahoma video store in 1999, according to court documents shared by KOKH. On Friday, prosecutors in Cleveland County, Oklahoma, said they were dropping the charge and expunging McBride's record, according to KOKH. Back when the Sabrina VHS went unreturned, movie rental stores were still popular fixtures in strip malls across the country. During its peak in 2004, Blockbuster had over 9,000 locations, but thousands closed, blah, blah, blah. Now a relic of the past, similar stores live on, but for McBride, the video store left a stain on her background check. She first learned of the felony charge after getting married in November in Texas. When she emailed the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles to legally change her last name from Davis, she learned there was a problem. They sent me an email. They told me that I had an issue in Oklahoma. They told her to call the Cleveland County District Attorney's Office, which informed her that there was a warrant for her arrest filed in March 2000 on felony embezzlement charges. She told me it was over the VHS tape, and I had to make her repeat it because I thought, this is insane. This girl is kidding me, right? She wasn't kidding. According to court documents, McBride rented the Sabrina Teenage Witch on February 14, 1999 from Movie Place, a now shuttered video store in Norman, Oklahoma. Prosecutor said she willfully, unlawfully, and feloniously embezzled the tape, which was worth $58.59 when she did not return the video after 10 days per the rental agreement. Confounded, McBride told KOKH she had no recollection of renting the video, but she said she thinks she may know what actually happened to the tape. Quote, "I had lived with a young man," this was over 20 years ago. "He had 2 kids, daughters that were 8, 10, or 11 years old, and I'm thinking he went and got it and didn't take it back or something. News of McBride's charges quickly made its way, blah, blah, blah. She's no dummy when it comes to her viewing preferences, said Gina Lee Green, who played Libby, Sabrina's high school nemesis. But McBride told KOKH, this is the funny part to me, that she's never watched the show or even heard of the Teenage Witch. Damn. Just not my cup of tea, McBride said. Meanwhile, I'm a wanted felon for a VHS tape. You got it.
That has got to be the scariest thing in the world to know that there has been a warrant out for your arrest. Like, I'm trying to figure out how, I don't know, how do you not know that there's a warrant out for your arrest? Like,
did they never serve it? Go ahead.
Like, phone calls, do they try to, I don't want to
find
out, but I just wonder, do they try to call you? Do they try to call family members? Do they try to get in touch with somebody? Letters, whatever. Like, how is that
20 freaking years?
And you try to figure out why all of this is going on, and you didn't even watch it. That got me thinking, like, dang, the video store over there by Walmart.
Right.
Like, I turned in all my tapes, right?
They got all my stuff?
I mean, like, what happened? So did she turn herself in?
No, they did. They dismissed the charges.
Oh, thank God.
But 20 years later.
I know, and this has been on your record for this
20
long.
years. 20 years. Go on.
So then, is it still on your record, or?
The record's white.
So, but I mean, all those jobs. I mean, but look, God does everything for a reason. I guess the job was meant for you, but still,
man.
I don't know. I don't know. That's got to be a scary time to find out that you are wanted for an arrest like that. And I always don't judge me.
Judging.
But like I did the ancestry.com, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where you gotta, give your DNA and, your social and all that kind of stuff and all those intimate details about yourself. And judgment. And so sometimes I get afraid and I'm just waiting for results because, sometimes I'm afraid, like, will somebody try to use my DNA?
Oh my God. He's so silly.
In a murder case, or
you are so silly.
In a case where they, stole from the bank or something, and then people find my DNA there because it was, and I got scared. I'm still scared.
Oh my gosh. What'd you get on it for?
But I mean, because I want to know.
But now you tripping.
But now I'm tripping. At
least you keep it in a book. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm afraid about that kind of stuff because, you've seen it in, history also, where you see where different people were falsely accused of something because they found something dealing with that person or that person's name or whatever. And so, you think about stuff like that. And 20 years after being wanted and missing job opportunities after job opportunities. And look, I just couldn't imagine, and I'd be so lit. I feel like I would end up I wouldn't be able to stay off.
I'm finna go to jail.
I feel like I just want to stay home. I wanted to close the blinds.
What's this? Why did I get married part 2?
I wouldn't want to do nothing because I'm afraid that walk outside they gonna arrest me.
Whoop whoop! That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the police.
Yeah, man, I'd be scared.
No,
you can tell I would not do good in jail. I am that.
She is not that girl.
I am not that girl. Like, I will try my best to survive in my surroundings. But boo, I be one of the people put me in
put me in lockdown.
I'd be like, Jake, okay, I'm gonna start this fight. And I'm gonna go home.
Oh, you already know my game. You already know my game plan. I already told you what I'm gonna do.
I just spray milk, I guess.
It's over with. It was over with from Jump Street.
Yeah.
I would sign my name on all of that. Listen, here's my thing, okay? I'm upset with every person that she has been in contact with for the past 20 years who never told her what was going on. Like, you mean to tell me you have been fired spontaneously from jobs? I'm talking about you got the job, you're at the job, you're working the job, then one day the boss comes up to you and says, hey, we need to talk to you, we're letting you go. Why? Because we're letting you go. Why? Because we're letting you go. You don't get an explanation at all as to what they may have found or what they may have seen. We saw that you lied on your application. What did I say? You know, they never told her anything. This woman has lived 20 years of her life trying to, you know, get jobs, trying to have applications. Could you imagine not being able to get a mortgage? You got the perfect credit score, but you can't get a mortgage because they found this thing on your record that's messed you all up. Like, she's 51 years old. I can only imagine what she's had to fight through to get to where she is now. Yeah. You know, like you said, everything happens, you know, for a reason. And so, you know, it is what it is, you know, but still it bothers me that job applications, housing applications, no one ever said, hey, you might want to take a look at your record. Hey, you might want to go call the cops. Hey, you might want to go to Oklahoma, you know.
Or they call the cops.
Something.
Hey, I found the
felony embezzler who stole your videotape
outside right now.
She owes $58.50 for the videotape. What you said? I don't know. So what? I mean, yes, that may be you're right, but still, for me, I guess because listen, the DMV, they told her, look, go call these people and go see what's going on. You got a felony embezzlement charge on you. You need to go figure out what the frick is going on. All I'm saying is, I would hope that someone would have compassion and risk said job to let them to hook a brother up. Let a brother know this is probably why you ain't getting the job. Because I mean, they're gonna have to run a background check anyway. Mm-hmm. I think that would be my thing. If I didn't get this job, they said I failed the background check. I'd be sitting around thinking, well, what did I do?
Why didn't she?
Okay. So here's my question. So if all these background checks kept failing, what were you doing? Because apparently you were thinking, well, they ain't gonna let me pass this time, so I don't know why I'm even applying for the job in the first place.
Did they tell her that it was a background check fail though?
I don't know. I don't know, because again, it's like she said herself, she passed some of the jobs. She got into some of the doors. So for her to get in and then all of a sudden be cast out like overnight, like I would wonder. I would like what some gotta give. Because I keep getting these jobs, but I keep getting fired all of a sudden. So unless she was doing some dirt that she felt like they found and she never really questioned that or whatever, I would be curious. Like, why am I getting fired from these jobs? Like, why is it that every time I try to get employed, I'm always getting the short end of the stick? Like something's got to give. Right. So again, I'm just really, you know, sad for her. I'm glad she found out. I'm glad she got it resolved. I'm glad they expunged her record. They could have kept it on the record. Well, since he didn't turn it in, or well, whatever, you know, we still got to hold account. But I'm glad that they were, you know, gracious enough to let her go. You know, to take that off her record and to clean her record up.
On the company itself too, though. Like, you don't call or send out notices or something like that?
Well, they probably did, but then they went bankrupt anyway. And so it wouldn't have mattered at that point.
Why did it matter at the point? I mean, y'all went bankrupt. What was?
Well, at the time that they issued the warrant or whatever, they were still in business.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all didn't make calls and stuff when it was 10 days late. I'm pretty sure they didn't go bankrupt 10 days later.
That part.
Like, y'all couldn't call or notice, hey, you're 5 days late.
That's true.
You're 10 days late.
That's true. Like, where my tape at? And like I said, that tape's still sitting in somebody's attic somewhere. Them done collected dust and everything.
Okay.
Don't nobody, ain't nobody ever gonna watch it again because we got a VCR.
The boyfriend got the letters and never told her.
Oh, I got you. You breaking up with me, huh? On Valentine's Day, no less. You're breaking up with me on Valentine's Day. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch this tape with my daughters because this is what they want to watch, and then watch you get in trouble. They broke up. Boom. That's what happened because it was on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day 99. She broke up with him on 13th. I ain't got time for this. I'm gonna go live my best life. Okay, boo, I got you. Watch this embezzlement. It's all in his head. Oh my God. He was ready. Seems like he's ready. No, we ain't doing it no more. Sorry.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments, fill in the comment box below. We'll try to get to them as fast as we can. You are watching The Puzzle Podcast.
Who you about to talk about?
Right here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We are talking about Will Smith next.
Okay.
Yeah. Will Smith to document body... Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Will Smith to document body transformation after being in, quote, worst shape of his life. After sharing with his fans that he's in the worst shape of my life on Monday, actor Will Smith posted Tuesday afternoon that he has big plans to switch things up.
Good for
in the caption of his Instagram post, I did not know this is where you were going to go. Okay, so I'm gonna have to tell y'all something in a minute. In the caption of an Instagram post where he stands proudly in just his underwear, the Fresh Prince revealed he's teaming up with YouTube to get my health and wellness back on track. This is the body that carried me through an entire pandemic and countless days grazing through the pantry. I love this body, but I want to feel better. No more midnight muffins. This is it. I'm gonna get in the best shape of my life. Monday, Smith had shared a photo of himself in a similar outfit, black shorts, slippers, and an unzipped hoodie with no shirt, complete with a glimpse of chest and stomach. I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm in the worst shape of my life. The first picture was hailed in the comments as a triumph by his fans. You're Will Smith. You can be in whatever shape you want. This is the most amazing post in the history of social media. You look good. Despite the alleged pantry grazing, Smith has been fairly busy during the pandemic. He's working on a big budget film, Emancipation. He participated in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion. Multiple reports indicate that he's also slated to be in a few upcoming sequels that will likely require him to be an actor, star Shape, Bright 2, and Bad Boys 4. All right, so go.
I'm finna throw you up on the bus. I love you.
Go ahead, man. I'm
okay. Know that I love you.
Oh, hey, listen.
But people like you and Will get on my nerves.
Why?
Y'all talk about, oh my God, I gotta get rid of this thing. I gotta do this. All you gotta do is stop eating sugar. But me and other people out there gotta sweat and toil and hurt and get sore to take bubble baths with Epsom salt and jog and basketball and Kiara Lachey it up with the dancing and I'm in the worst shape of my life, but I love it. Look at me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I get it. And this is a great story. I'm glad.
No. That ain't a great story no more. Tell us how you really feel. I want to hear that.
I'm so glad that when I looked at that picture, I was like, you guys to be kidding me, right? You first of all, you trying to make it where you can see the rolls. You trying to bend so the rolls are show. Wait a minute. Okay, I get it. You've been thinner, boo. Yay, whoop-de-doo. And you wanna, just feel better. I get where you say, it hurts sometimes. It hurts sometimes. I get it. But
go ahead.
You make it seem like I got to do, and you do better. I'm glad. People who feel like they are in bad shapes and they want to do better. That's awesome. I'm grateful. Do better, but you still make me sick because stop eating sugar and you're fine. Stop eating sugar. 5 pounds gone. Boom.
Jesus.
But that's awesome, though. I'm so glad that people have his back and are behind him and want to do it with him. Hey, y'all get a group together and do, a diet plan or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And just, hold each other accountable. And y'all just go ahead and lose whatever you're trying to lose and trying to make to show, Just lose it, boo. You know, just do you. Just do you. I'm very, very happy for you.
No, you are not. Do not sit up here and tell that lie. You are not happy. You are not happy for him right now.
I'm very happy.
And you are a liar. The truth ain't in you. It is okay.
But it was just funny to me to look at that first photo where you trying to show, like, look at all these rows. Boo, stand up straight. I see nothing. I see nothing. Nothing.
I gotta run up here and post people.
What?
Okay. Confession time.
Come on.
Everybody. When I first saw this story, this was supposed to be our feel-good story of the No, Negatron. Okay, do not go there with me.
It is.
This is the first time I'm hearing her reaction to this story because I did not see that coming. Okay, this is supposed to be our feel-good story because bitch, stop it. You stop. I know I'm not. I would never say that to you. Not even in the throes of the heat of moments. I would never call you that. I am not that dumb. Quality content and all of them would rain hell upon me if I ever tried to fix my mouth to call you that. Okay? So, no, I did not say that. Okay? Let's keep it 100. I would never do that.
Oh my head.
That is not, you are not about to sit up here and have people thinking I cuss you out. Okay? I might throw a cuss word out there every now and then, but I don't cuss you. That's not. Anyway, we got sidetracked. This was supposed to be our feel-good story of the day. Stop it! Stop lying to people. Okay, it's because after Will Smith posted that picture, a whole bunch of dads and dad bods got on Instagram and were basically saying, yeah, we feel your struggle. We feel your plight. We feel your pain. Regardless of whether they were going to stand with him and try to lose the weight or just say, I accept myself for who I am, you know, that they felt for the first time like they could actually, you know, they have somebody to look up to like Will Smith, who is, you know, big, famous, and, you know, looks like a dad bod.
Daddies unite.
Right. And so for me, you know, it was a feel-good story for me, not even because, you know, I can relate, because I really can't. I have not been in Will Smith's shoes where I've been in the quote-unquote best shape of my life. I feel like prior to 2 weeks ago, I was in the best shape of my life. I mean, I was playing basketball. I was riding my bicycle. You know, I don't get winded when I walk at work, you know, trying to deal with these high energy, you know, crisis calls every darn day. Like, I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life, good or not. And so, you know, I can't relate in that regard because I feel like I am in the best I've ever been and trying to get better. But it was refreshing to see a celebrity not get airbrushed, because that's the thing that bothers me. I get bothered by the Kim Kardashians and the Khloe Kardashians and the Kendall Jenners of the world who are constantly airbrushing and photoshopping and filtering themselves to be this proper, prissy, pretty person all the time. When Khloe Kardashian posted that picture of herself normal, that was the best thing she could have ever done, but she flopped that. When she decided, I don't want to show you that because if people are going to pick on me. When nobody was picking on you. Everybody was celebrating this about dang time you look normal. Right. Exactly. And so I felt like when Will Smith did that, mind you, his context was, I'm in the worst shape of my life and I need to get better. So you got that going, and that's why I know it kind of pissed you off a little bit. But when he posted that, it felt good to see a celebrity just own it and say, "This is what I look like, and I don't care. This is where I'm at right now, and I do not care." Like, that's what I wish we could see more of from our celebrities, and more people celebrate the normalcy rather than pick on them. Now, mind you, again, people gonna think what they want to think, feel how they want to feel, say what they want to say. So everybody's gonna have, because there were some people that were saying, "Oh, Will Smith look gay," you know, and I was like, "What? How do you even get to that?"
Wait, I'm not gonna lie. When I seen the first picture, that pose.
I mean, the pose. Yes, the pose.
A little off.
But again,
I didn't want to say nothing.
But again, people gonna say what they want to say.
Exactly.
People gonna say what they want to say. I don't care. All I was noticing was the fact that the few days I was like, one, okay, cool, Will Smith look normal. Finally, we get to see some normalcy. Then when everybody else started chiming in and they were sending him funny videos, they were sending him shots of themselves, they were like, yes, this is a moment we can all unite together, you know, to be normal, to not try to be gargantuan and try to be extra and try to be, these people that we can't be unless we go to the gym every day and starve ourselves half to death. It's kind of like what you were alluding to, where we got to do all this extra stuff, get the weight trainers, be in the gym 9 hours a day, only eat kale, only drink protein shakes to have the perfect body. Like, we can finally be normal and it be okay. And it was just cool to see, a celebrity be vulnerable enough to show us, this is what I look like and I don't care. I'm going to do something about it, but this is where I'm at today. And so, again, I didn't know that it was going to send you there, where you feel like, everybody can hop a goat and kick rocks.
I like the unity.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, you like it, I guess. Yeah. Whatever. I didn't know it was going to send you there. We should have talked about it beforehand. I know where you were coming at. I would have picked, because I would have picked a different story to be a feel-good story of the night.
It's still a feel-good story.
No, not to you. It's not.
It is.
You are a liar, ma'am.
Yeah, I think it's good that people can relate, and when you can, and then also for Will to get all of the encouragement that he got. It's cool with everything that's gone on in his life. And, all the stuff that you've heard about, him and his family and, their life and the different things that they've gone through, for him to get the support that he's gotten, I think it's awesome.
Okay.
Still suck.
If I'd have known that was where it was going to send you.
But I'm being funny with it, though. But you still suck. But I'm being funny with it.
She ain't being 100.
I'm being 100.
I'm going to hear about it later. Watch. Hear about it later.
No, because you're going to ask about it later.
Of course I am. This conversation is far from over. To the one person who's been watching all night, this story is far from over, ma'am. We are definitely going to have overtime on this, even though we got something we got to do, because we got a great show prepared for y'all next week.
Are we doing it next week?
We are doing it next week. So, in light of that, next week, if you haven't watched the show yet, we are encouraging you all to watch the show Temptation Island. I believe it is one of the craziest, dumb shows I have ever watched on television, but it is also just cool to watch these people risk their relationships by deciding, I'm going to go and live with a bunch of singles, for a week and a half and try not to ruin my relationship while I'm doing it. For the most part. Literally, well, that whole part. And so if you haven't watched the show, go watch the show, because we're watching the show now. We're going to finish it this weekend. And then on Friday, next Friday, we're going to talk about the show. It may be the only thing we talk about. We're going to find some stories just in case, but it may be the only thing that we talk about, because I'm super excited to talk about that. Matter of fact, if we have time, what we might end up doing is talking about that and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. If we have time, because I want to talk about that too. So if you haven't seen Temptation Island and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, go watch them, because we're going to talk about at least Temptation Island next week. Thank y'all so much for taking the time to watch our show. We thank you so much, Quality Content, for being our presenter of the show. We also thank Wander Puzzle Company, 4 Points, Puzzledly, and the Very Good Puzzle Company for sponsoring this show. We thank you all, as always, for your viewership. We're going to package this up and have this for your viewing later on this weekend. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will see y'all on the next episode of the Puzzle Podcast with Eddie Nicole right here on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch, presented by Quality Content. See y'all next week.